Hey everybody, it's Pete. Good morning. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. It is Monday morning, January 25th, 2021. And just like that, January seems to be vanishing very quickly. However, I will say this, other than one tougher day of trading, which was 2 Fridays ago, this has been an amazing month to be a stock trader. Some percentage gains have been amazing. Some obvious trades have just been sitting there waiting for us to take. It really just comes down to at this point, are you in the right stocks and not chasing them? That's really the big thing. And we're actually going to start out with one today that did not have bullish order flow, exploded out of nowhere. The stock doubled and is set to open higher today. Somebody had mentioned it last week or earlier in maybe prior week, but definitely recently, just as the stock started to explode. And I had actually said, I'm not looking to buy it because there's no order flow. It's not obvious right now. But the kind of market that we're in right now, the stock actually doubled in price. So we're in that kind of market right now where even stocks that are not obvious are finding this amazing buying pressure. Deep pockets are stepping in, and the stock was up almost 18% on Friday. We're going to take a look at another one that was up 25% last week. So the question now is, if everything's so obvious, what do you do next? There's too many. And that's a big part of what I want to talk about. It's very important, whether you're watching all of my videos every day, whether you're in the boot camp, whether you're doing it on your own, it doesn't matter if you're day trading or swing trading, with the amount of activity that we're having right now, it's critical that you learn to create a game plan. It's critical that during this fast price action that you start to really work your list down to what you believe are the top ideas, because it's very easy to miss ideas right now and feel like you're like, what did I, everything was going up and I did nothing because you were overwhelmed and trying to look at too much. So the biggest piece of trading strategy that I want to impart to you now before we even look at these ideas is really create a good game plan going into the week. And if you're a day trader, make sure you have a good game plan going into every day. The more focused that list is, and then especially if you understand how to read the tape after the week and the day starts, it'll automatically start from, like, say, maybe 10 stocks and work its way down to, maybe the top 3 to 5 that are in play at that moment and for the week and maybe for the month. So focus, that's the big thing. We give a lot of ideas. We have some brand new traders watching these videos. We have some experienced traders. So we're kind of giving the spectrum of trading ideas from one extreme to the other, for somebody who's brand new, and to somebody who's experienced. I hope you're somewhere in that category and you're on the right side of these ideas. It's just a question of timing, which is what we're going to talk about today. Timing into some of these ideas and some of these stocks that have exploded. If you remember last week, we actually discussed the home builder stocks were starting to perk up, but we said we're not looking to get involved because they're all coming up to an area where the last time prices got there, sellers did something significant and pushed those stocks down. So now we're up at that level, pausing. We're looking for a significant pause, maybe a day or two, with significant, right, in these days, and then look for the next move higher. We don't want to get involved where it got smacked down last time. We wanted to see get up to that price, which is where they are now, and then look for the next move higher. Hopefully you took a couple of the trades that we had last week. Microsoft hit new levels. Apple, we're actually working that order. We have 150 as our profit target. Looks like we're up around 143 pre-market right now. But two of the easier trades that we had last week, I want to start out with, and we'll head over to the charts, and then we're going to take a look at some of the trades that are on the table right now. So, by the way, if you find these videos helpful, definitely click down and subscribe. I really appreciate that. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. And especially if you have a question about any of the stocks specifically that we talk about in these videos, leave a comment below, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you on that. So we're going to start out with the first stock that I had mentioned before, which was GSX. The stock actually did not have any bullish order flow heading into here, where the stock was right around $45, $47. And now you can see the stock actually traded up where it doubled. And it's set to open higher again this morning. So sticking to what I do, I can't fight what I normally do. And ironically, we just talked about this in a video this morning where we talked about my top candlestick pattern. The stock is now well bid for consecutive days, but it's well bid versus the last 4 months of selling. So this is one of those unique opportunities or unique situations where the stock exploded, but going into the trade, there wasn't that much of an edge. So if you're looking to actively trade it right now, day trading it more specifically, absolutely can do that. You have the minimum criteria of well bid and closing on the highs, but still doesn't meet my criteria of longer term commitment by deep pocket. So it's one of those unique situations where you have to make an adjustment. It's going up now, but what are the odds of follow through? And now the stock has doubled on today's higher opening. If I was swing trading the stock, I'd be looking to exit today's higher opening, looking for profit taking. We want to also start out with PLTR. Palantir actually had huge volume on Friday, was up 25%. They're saying some of the news on the stock was putting a new person on the board of directors, which is actually pretty good. And this is a big deal. They're actually having what they're calling a demo day this on January 25th. So there's a lot going on in the stock. But what matters the most right now about this 25% rally is this. There is a commitment by smart money to step up and push the stock. Now, the challenge with getting involved in this stock today specifically is it's more of a bullish echo trade where the stock now has pushed into probably 70 to 75% of what it normally does. So that means we're going to be actively trading it on the short term, not looking to initiate a longer term swing trade. So it's a day trade basically right now. Once this stock pauses after it has gone 100% what it normally does, then we're going to look to initiate a new swing trade, but the stock is in play right now. That's the most important thing. Two trades I want to talk about from last week that I hope you took with us. BBBY, you can actually see that the optimal entry bounced and triggered right into our short-term initial target quickly. So we actually took profits on that on Friday. Same thing with SOL. We got involved here on this optimal entry about a week and a half ago. That one also punched up. We got some questions about too many of the stocks are higher priced. Well, both of these stocks are very, very affordable. Hopefully you took advantage of those. It looks like the squeeze is on where GME is actually just absolutely crushing the short sellers right now. And it looks like it's probably going to kiss $100 today, which is just amazing considering the stock was $16 less than 2 weeks ago. Now, what do? Now, again, it's a bullish echo where we're just looking to day trade the stock actively. Very hard to justify getting long a swing trade in this stock with how far the stock has already gone, but absolutely need to be on top of it if you're a day trader right now. POLA, very similar situation where the stock has now gone 6 times in the last week and a half. It was, let's say even 5 times, $5 to 24.25. That's a big, big move. So what do? Again, we're looking to maybe look for another 2 days here. Definitely looking to day trade it as long as it meets our criteria. SFIX, very similar, but SFIX is actually showing some really good, clean price action. Now, what's interesting about this is bullish day, nothing, bullish day, nothing, bullish day, 2 days of nothing, bullish day. So what can we reasonably expect here? Maybe one more bullish day, but it needs to have that certain criteria where it's going to be above the open there. Stock that's a little bit different is JMIA. This actually gave us an incredible entry on a buy stop last week on Friday. It actually just destroyed the buy stop and flew through it. You really had to have, you have to be on top of your game on Friday. But this is different from the other ones that we're looking at. This is the first time the stock is punching through. It's the first day it's pushing through. The first day smart money's like, all right, we're looking at new levels here. We're going to start creating new levels. This is a new one that we're going to take a look at and start to build a new position. I want to talk about MGNI because I think it's interesting that many traders believe that they're the only ones with trades that they get stopped out on, and then they watch those trades kind of go back to exactly what you thought. And I thought this was kind of a fun one to bring up because I actually got long on this day right here, this optimal entry. You can see it traded down pretty hard over the next day on heavier volume, which was actually bad news on the stock there as well. So I stayed away from it. I thought I had a good entry. Bad news came out. I'm like, all right, something changed in the stock. So I decided not to get back into it for those multiple reasons. And you can see now the stock is actually well past my entry price, my entry day, which was over here. So I just wanted to give that as a little bit of a heads up. If sometimes you feel like, oh, I had it and I got stopped out and then it did exactly what I wanted to, it happens to everybody. So we all have wounds. We all have trades that we look back on and be like, oh man, there it is. It happens to everybody. So don't take that personal. Next one I want to talk about is Triple D. Triple D is still in play after pausing for 3 days. Had a good move on Friday, looking for some follow through again here in the next few days. Space, hopefully you got involved in this one here on this day when they had the mothership announcement. The stock bounced, punched through, and still looks good. We're still looking to maintain this long. We're looking at 40 to 42 as the first target on the swing trade. Doesn't move that fast, but it's in play. Penn is another one that closed near the highs, near all-time highs, actually looking for follow through here as well. This is a tricky stock. You really need to be paying attention to the stock. You need to know how the stock trades. I'm going to actually finish it up with OSTK. OSTK is one of those stocks that is in my watch list all the time. I don't trade it all the time, but when it does trade well, it gives you these kind of days where you get $10 or $12 days out of it. But what I'm watching now is interesting, is the $72 level. Again, we had this conversation last week and again this morning about stocks that are the right price. Nobody's stepping up and saying, I'm going to create an imbalance right now. We're going to shove the stock higher or lower and create new levels. However, over 72 is interesting in the stock, and that's the level I'm going to be watching. Past 72, then we're looking about 80 to 85 if deep pockets step up and start pushing that stock around. So there's a little bit of sector rotation, a lot of explosions right now, and you have to be super careful with not chasing price and making sure that the reward potential is still there in exchange for the risk you're taking inside of all that new massive volatility. So it really means you need to be smart right now because there is absolutely opportunity on the table. If you want some help with this and you want my exact entries and exits into this, click down and learn about the bootcamp. I'd love to see you on the other side. Have a great day, everyone.